Kicking things off at 141 pounds for Penn State, it's Nick Lee, the true junior from Evansville, Indiana, and Mater Dei High School, 17-0 on the season, coming off the big 8-4 win over then top-ranked Luke Pletcher of Ohio State Saturday night at the Bryce Jordan Center, taking on Sal Profaci, a fifth-year senior out of Monroe Township, New Jersey. Profaci spent 4 years at Michigan before transferring into American University, and says Jake Moore has really helped him here this season. He's not ranked in the latest rankings from Intermat, but he is 17th in the RPI rankings and 24th in the coaches panel rankings. Of course, those rankings came out 2 weeks ago. Lee second in those rankings in the coaches panel and 7th in the RPI, but obviously Lee will be number one with a win here today when the next coaches panel rankings come out before the conference tournaments. Profaci and Lee meeting for the second time in their collegiate career. When Profaci was at Michigan 2 seasons ago in the dual meet, it was Lee prevailing 9-5. That was on January 12th of 2018. Both wrestlers tying up here off of the whistle, with Lee working in with the collar tie. Profaci tries to lower his level. Lee sprawls back. Both wrestlers in the center of the mat working to their right. Lee leads Penn State with 61 dual meet points. Second, actually, in Penn State, a point behind Mark Hall as he snaps down and circles in on the right side here and gets the initial takedown. Nick Lee now riding out on that right side, breaks Profaci down. Lee, two-time All-American. Profaci, 2017 NCAA qualifier when he was at Michigan. Profaci battles his way out here for an escape, and it's a 2-1 lead for Nick Lee as the two wrestlers again tie up near the center of the mat here with 2:05 remaining in the first at Rec Hall. Another sellout crowd, 55th consecutive sellout here at Rec Hall for the senior day at Penn State. Busy weekend in Penn State athletics. Of course, Thon also going on over at the Bryce Jordan Center as Lee works in on a single leg, picks up on that right leg here of Profaci, now drops down and gets into a double and gets the takedown. Put that left leg up nicely and secures his second takedown of the opening period. We hit the midway point of the first with Lee leading 4-1. Lee riding out on the right side. Profaci with a sleeve over that right leg and a padded right knee as Lee continues to work out on that right side. Lee has the riding time up over 45 seconds now in this opening period. Lee working with a crossface, grabbing that far wrist for a moment, now readjusting out on the right side. We have 1 minute remaining in the opening period. It's a 4-1 lead for Penn State's top-ranked Nick Lee, riding an 18-bout win streak into this one. Now has 61 takedowns in dual meet action this season, while giving up just one, and that was a first period takedown to Luke Pletcher Saturday night. Lee now 5-0 against ranked opponents, while Profaci is 1-4 against ranked competition this season. Profaci trying to battle his way up here. Lee with a good ride going out on that right side, trying to get a turning combination in here. Profaci continuing to fight him off. Good wide base here for Profaci as he gets back to his knees with 10 seconds left in the opening period. Lee with a very solid opening 3 minutes of wrestling as he rides out the period. We'll go to the second. Lee leads at 4-1, and he has 1 minute 55 seconds in riding time advantage. It'll be Lee's choice to start the second period, and he'll take bottom. Profaci sets up on the left elbow. Profaci chops at that left arm. Lee trying to sit out, turning back in here, and comes back around, turns in, grabs the knee, has the left knee of Profaci, trying to drop down on the other ankle, gets in behind and finishes off the reversal to open up the second period scoring. Now Lee trying to come out and looking for a cradle, can't quite hit it. Now readjusting, still looking for it, really pulling in here, and now he just Pulls Profaci down in front. Now Lee coming out in front of Profaci, and Profaci will pop his head out for the escape. It's a 6-2 lead for Nick Lee, 1:25 remaining in the second period here at 1:41. Lee trying to work in here on Profaci. Good collar tie here for Lee. Again, Lee won 9-5 in their only previous meeting back in 2018, 2 seasons ago. That was in a Penn State-Michigan dual meet. Profaci has won 8 straight bouts here and is 10-1 in dual meet action this season for American, one of the better, more consistent wrestlers for the Eagles this year. Went 3-3 at the Midlands tournament. Profaci was a 2-time New Jersey place winner, taking 4th as both a junior and senior for Monroe Township High School. Went 162-12 in his scholastic career. Profaci gets in low here on the left leg of Lee. Lee sprawling back and now in pretty good position to fight this off. Nate Chapman, the official, taking a look at it. Now Lee gets the leg free and still battling here as both wrestlers circle to their left with 17 seconds left in the period. Profaci continuing to battle here with 12 seconds left in period 2. Lee tying up. Now they break apart. We're down to 5 seconds remaining in the period. And we will go to the third with Nick Lee leading 6-2. He has 1:57 in riding time advantage on the board. It'll be Profaci with the choice to start the third. Profaci will take the bottom position. Trailing 6-2 as we begin the period. Lee with 1:57 in riding time advantage. Profaci, a career mark of 80 wins and 53 losses. Lee also with 80 wins, but just 11 losses in his collegiate career. Profaci starting the third period on bottom with Lee now riding out on the right side. Lee breaks him down, has him bellied out here right in the center of the mat with 1:40 remaining in the third. Lee continuing to amass the riding time advantage here as he works out on that right side. Profaci trying to work his way back to his base. Lee again breaks him down, and Nick Lee now has the riding time point assured here, and we get a stall warning issued against Profaci underneath. So Lee's lead is really 7-2 here as Profaci battles his way up and out here for the escape. 1:10 left to wrestle in the third. Lee leading with the riding time point factored in, 7-3. We have 1 minute remaining in the third. Lee trying to work back in here. Profaci again trying to line up a shot on that left leg. Lee sprawls back. Good baseline defense there by Lee. And Lee back in on the attack here. Pointing on the head of Profaci. Both wrestlers working their way toward the left side of the mat as we see it here at Rec Hall. Profaci now in on a Russian tie on the left arm of Lee. 35 seconds left in the third. Profaci with a little duck under attempt. Lee fends him off. Now Lee trying to work back in here with an underhook. Trying to drop down on the legs. Looking for a little knee pick there. Can't quite hit it. Lee still on the attack here as they work toward the far side of the mat with 15 seconds left in the third. Profaci dancing a little bit here with 8 seconds left. Profaci trying to line up a shot, getting in that right leg. Now Lee counters, picks up on the right knee here of Profaci. Lee trying to get a takedown here right at the end of the period and runs out of time. He'll settle for a 7-3 decision as Nick Lee finishes with 2:45 in riding time advantage. A 7-3 win for Nick Lee, and Penn State jumps out to a 3-0 lead in the dual meet. Our coverage of Penn State wrestling brought to you by Ron Gilligan Auctioneering. Ron Gilligan Auctioneering will have an estate auction coming up